It's my last anal in the condo.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's the last anal for Greg in the condo.
Sorry, don't even have
also
painting
his last
time.
time at BA 101 in the condo. Anyway, hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101 with your host, Maxwell Starr and Arnold. Tonight,
No, you're ruining this.
At a popular Eastern European beer from originating from the Saxony region of former East Germany and Germany. Wernesgrüner Pils Legend. Brewing rights since 1436. Anyway, before we get down to that, let's introduce who we have with us on the panel, starting with the Mr. Beard. Hello, Redbeard.
What's going on?
Oh, not too bad. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I have no idea what to expect from this beer, so good stuff and things.
All right. Yeah. All right. So move on over to Mr. Gregory. Hi, Greg.
My wall looks too bare without there. Hey, look, a PlayStation.
I know.
Hi, I'm doing okay. Last Wednesday in the condo, so next week will be from my basement. I'm like turning to Chris now.
Yeah, no, it's you're gonna be in the basement. Be Greg in the basement.
In the basement, then eventually I'll have to go to a 10th floor building with a noisy elevator, and we'll work our way from there. Yeah, very excited to be here. As we know, we're here for a special purpose. I'm sure Nick will tell us more, but the gist of it is we support the Germans in their war. So, go Germany.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Okay. All I got to say is that, Greg, we're totally going to miss you passing out on that couch in that spot. And that,
no, I'll still be
it's been like the better part of the decade about passing out drunk in that one spot. Like all the mornings I've woke up for work and come over to the computer and find out you're still on the fucking StreamYard.
Scary the amount of times I've been woken up on Nick.
All right, and of course, last but not least, we have Lady Lee. Hi, Lee. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Not doing too bad. All right.
Yay!
I'm excited about the sandwiches tonight.
Oh God! All right, so let's
deliver one.
Deliver a sandwich to Toronto, or it's gonna be he's gonna have a change of address soon.
I Carrie can do it.
Yeah, he gets paid. You have to pay him though, and make
If
sure you get at least a 15% tip.
If he makes it in a half hour less, he'll get $5 from me.
Fuck. All right, so let's get down to the history of Wernesgrüner. So Wernesgrüner Brewery originates from the village of Wernesgrün, which is today Steinberg Wernesgrün in the Saxony region of Eastern Germany, or let's just say Germany. It's all one Germany now. One of the oldest breweries in Germany. It was founded on March 18th, 1436, when the Schroer brothers acquired a brewing and tavern license for their estate. Ownership of the brewery changed hands over the centuries, and in the 1700s, the Gunnell and Mannel families took over the estates and began promoting beer from the Wernesgrün region on a wider scale. In 1896, Wernesgrüner beer won a gold medal at the Great Industrial Exposition and became a beer of choice for the German upper classes. Served on board the famous Hapag-Lloyd Hamburg to America line of ocean liners, as well as on early Lufthansa flights. Following World War II, the brewery found itself deep within Russian-controlled East Germany, where the brewery was seized by the communist government and merged into the state-run VEB export beer brewery Wernesgrün. During the communist era, the brew became a specialty premium brew enjoyed throughout East Germany, as well as other Eastern Bloc countries, such as Ukraine, where it remains a popular beer today. Following the fall of the Berlin Wall and German reunification, the brewery became a stock corporation in 1990 and privatized in 1994, before getting bought out by the Bitburger Brewery Group in 2002. And then again, it was sold to Carlsberg just last year in 2021. As of 2018, Wernesgrüner's global output was 850,000 hectoliters a year, so it's pretty big. Recently of note, the Carlsberg Foundation and Tuborg Foundation donated about $11 million equivalent to relief efforts in Ukraine. So, Wernesgrüner Pils Legend is a 4.9% ABV, 35 IBU German-style Pilsner and brewed in accordance to Reinheitsgebot, the 1516 German purity law. It is brewed with crystal clear waters from the Erzgebirge Springs. I really mispronounced that. I just know it. Located in the Voigtland region of Saxony. It's made with golden malting barley, which I'm assuming is just Pilsner malt from Germany somewhere, and noble hops from the Hallertau and Elbe-Hall regions. I think I've got that. It might actually be Elbsal. I think it's just a broken translation. Yeah, Elbsal regions. Anyway, so yeah, let's get down to who we have with us for their histories, and starting with the beard. Hi,
That
Beard.
was a really, really, really weird way to say what you just said. I might have had this like before I got into craft beer. Every now and then when I went to the LCBO, I'd grab just 6 whatever beers, but they were usually macro beers. And I feel like this can is mildly familiar to me, but I don't know. So for all intents and purposes, I've had 1 drink of this beer. Now 2.
Well, who knows? It used to be in an all gold can, no green on it, and
I don't know. So just the name and everything, and again, just that section of the LCBO, I did gravitate to for I don't know, probably a year or so. So I'd say there's a good chance I tried this, but I don't know.
As we see,
It was before I was keeping track, I guess you could say.
gotcha. While you were still drinking crap.
Wow, that's very judgmental of Nick.
Anyway, let's thank you, Red Beer. Let's go over to Greg, who is also very judgmental.
Well, Nick, I am judgmental. This is true. But I'm also very professional. And unlike Carrie, I keep a proper Untapped account. And I had this beer once before on August 2nd, 2017.
Ooh.
And that's my history with this beer. Thank you.
You
Greg
just
is the
don't,
pro.
so nondescript, you don't remember what it was like, basically.
Oh,
August 2nd, 2006, 17, though. That's
I
pretty
said,
close.
I said it was a nice, back then I said it was a nice, refreshing summer beer.
All right.
We'll find out if I still feel that way about it. Even though
August.
it's kind of winter.
I'm just saying August 2nd, 2017, that's like right around the beginning of BA 101, where you started to try different beers.
Well, I was trying beers before BA 101. I just
Yeah.
wasn't doing it professionally and getting paid for it like I am now.
Getting paid for it.
By the way,
Is it
Nick,
Nick's attention that you're getting paid with?
no, Nick's been writing me checks. By the way, Nick, those checks are bouncing, dude.
Checks. Sure.
Intentionally.
Anyway, thank you, Greg. Let's go over to Lady Lee and say, what's your history with this beer?
My history is making an ass out of myself today, trying to figure out what
Yay.
beer we're doing today. So, yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize.
Yay.
So, all the advertisement didn't have the green on the can. So, when you look at it, it didn't have it. And then when I went and looked on the LPCO website, they just had this on the back. So, I literally thought it was 2 different beers. So,
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, like from one side, but yeah, the cans used to look.
I just had the gold one for the first one I saw. There was no green on it, so I got really confused. But anyways, that's my history.
All right, fun stuff.
I looked so smart today.
Well, you look smart every day, there, Lee. Apologies, I was trying to look something up on my side here, but all right, thank you, Lady Lee. Let's pan over to me and see if I can quickly recall a video here. Basically, my history goes back all the way to 2011, the first time I ever had this. It's not a beer that like NB Liquor has carried all the time. I kind of remember it showing up for the first time around the time I first started doing beer reviews. So it was like within 2 months of me starting my channel, all of a sudden I noticed there's a new Pilsner, which I actually liked those kinds of Pilsners. Back then I did. I still do. So way back at the beginning, I did my beer review, found it right here. Beer review number 53 was Wernesgrüner Pils Legend. I'm not going to review it because it was so old that it's an old yellow stove video, and you can see exactly what the can used to look like. Anyway, enough of that. That's kind of my history. I remember the video, and I gave it a passing grade of 2.5 in that video, but there was stuff I really didn't like about it, and I remember it being kind of a dirty Pilsner, and I think I even dumped it. So it was kind of one where it's like, there's better beers to get drunk off that night, so I just dumped the rest of it. But that's my history with that one, and I mean my palate's changed over the years, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing any different.
It's matured.
I did have a can of it
on your can, Nick.
There's the best before date.
Yeah, I believe Lady Lee and I both have.
This is August 2022.
Okay, so you got the 08.
I got 06.
Yeah, we got 06.
Yeah, mine's 08 as well. So I guess I'm with Nick. For better or for worse.
All right. Okay, so we've got mostly Lee Russell in the comments here. Did anybody want to volunteer to read? Beard?
Sure, why not?
All
right. He was waiting with bated breath so he can rub one off. And then I thought usually I'd say rub one out, but no, apparently I'm a pervert. I don't know. You're not getting any thinner.
Everyone can display their sexuality however they want.
Yeah. Beer can't be too popular because it's not in Nova Scotia. We're all going to miss Greg passing out. Tradition brought to a sad end. The Germans and their purity.
Tradition. It's still going to happen every Wednesday, just in a slightly different location, probably on the same couch.
I'm always looking for beers brewed by stormtrooping Huns, or I was. Yeah, okay. We're all bums, and Lee made more effort than us, and it was just good detective work. Whiz kid.
Thank you.
Whizzy.
Whiz kid.
This is a 1955 quarter.
Ooh.
Sorry, I just found it. It's on my desk. That's pretty cool. I'm excited. That is an exciting quarter.
All right, exciting quarter.
All right, thank you, Mr. Beard. Let's pan back out to the quadrant. I don't really want to get into my thoughts on this thing to you yet, but I'm kind of surprised drinking this tonight, considering I just had one of these last week.
It tastes different?
Well, it's not so much it tastes different, but maybe it's growing on me. Weird. I know we've had it here, like we first got it in 2011. We've had it here for 11 years and unbrokenly, so it just never went away. And I remember over those years looking at it on the shelf. I'm like, why is that still here? It's like dirty East German lager, and it's just kind of curious to. We've never BA'd it. It was not one that I gravitated to BAing it. The only reason why I kind of got inspired to review this is because the whole thing going on in Ukraine. I've been watching a lot of news videos, and in one of the videos, they were making Molotov cocktails using Wernesgrüner bottles. So I thought, like, hey, that would be a good beer to do on BA 101, considering there's no other. So like we're going like Eastern Europe bloc countries that are, trying to fight oppression right now. So seems a bit appropriate.
No, Putin's just denazifying them. Come on.
Yeah, right.
He's just denazifying by bomb. What did he do today? Bomb like a maternity freaking ward or some crap?
As a Jewish leader. Yeah, sure. That totally works. One thing I will say, though, we haven't had our Russian troll yet post on the video.
No, they're busy trolling other things.
More popular channels.
yeah. That's pretty much it. Trust all the news channels. Alrighty, so, man. I guess.
Don't all talk at once, guys. I can't handle this.
I'm trying to write down some of my thoughts on this beer.
We're letting the lady talk, in honor of the day after International Women's Day.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, come on, Lily.
Yeah, perform for us. Perform for us. We demand it.
What did you just do, Greg? That sounded like a small explosion.
It was just my sliding door opening.
Jesus, that was weird.
Arnold insists on going outside.
He wants my silver quarter.
Oh. He just wants it
What,
because
you got a silver quarter?
That's rare.
These ones are silver,
Oh, cool.
or not. Well, not fully silver, but it's like
what
you
year
can
is
feel
it?
the weight on it. 1955. You can feel the weight on it. Like it's not like your standard quarter.
Yeah,
It's
like
heavier.
they also make a different sound when you drop them on the ground, like drop them on a surface, kind
Yeah.
of a ring. I'm trying to remember which years it was. I used to be right in collecting coins, and for a while they were all like pretty close to sterling silver. I think sterling silver is like 92%. I think the Canadian coinage in the era was like 80% silver, and then they dropped it to 50% silver. I can't remember what year it was, but it was like the 60s before they discontinued it altogether, and after 68.
I was gonna say like the 50s to the 70s, so that's would make sense. 68,
Yeah.
so late 60s. Hey,
Yeah.
Daniel.
Hello, Daniel.
Mr. Daniel Harper's in the chat. How you doing, Mr. Daniel?
Cheers, Dan.
Cheers, sir.
I remember back in the day, and by that I mean high school. So for me, that was 15, 20 years ago. I don't know math very well. And I'm pretty sure statute of limitations is up on this, so they can't come arrest me. We used to do this thing where we would, to save money, we would cut the pennies to the size of a token. So, for a penny, you got in like, $3 or whatever. All you had to do is trim the edge of it with like some strong scissors. But you couldn't do it with the old fucking pennies because those are actually, I think, made out of copper, and they were too hard to do. You had to do it with the newer ones that were made out of some, I think it was just copper plated or some shit like that.
There's some electrical box kind of conduit thing that is used in construction that they were doing work in the mall in Perry Sound years and years and years ago. And there's these little holes that are like not totally punched out of them. And depending on what cables you're running into these boxes, you punch out some of these holes. And some of these little things were the exact size of a quarter. And a vending machine that was like, yeah, give me that. I'll give you pop and chips and stuff for these things. And it was, yeah, good times back then.
Sounds like a fun time.
I feel like did we summon Daniel by talking about denazification? Is that how it works?
I think maybe that's it. We got political, and then we all said.
If you say Nazi 3 times in a mirror, Daniel Harper shows up.
On this one, Daniel Harper just said Lee couldn't bother to show his face, and that's because Lee couldn't get the beer. Apparently Nova Scotia's not Eastern Bloc enough.
Didn't he say he has to work after or something too?
No, that too.
Yeah. So.
Well, he could do the review and then go to work. Come on now.
I mean, very practical lady right there. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, he's such a big guy that the beer would barely affect him and he'd be fine. So
I'm surprised he could even get off his couch to try and get the beer. To be honest, I mean, let's.
Good God! All right.
Wait, is Sobeys downhill? Does he just like open the door and kind of roll his way to work? And then somebody.
That's where I think it is flat.
I would assume
he has these rollerblades and a string that just goes across.
I was going to say
his brother tows him along on a bicycle, just like
he just brings one of the pallet jacks home with him afterwards and kind of rides it like a stand-up thing,
Like a really big skateboard.
Yeah.
Or he has like an oar.
Napoleon Dynamite.
No. Apparently he takes an Uber, which would be just the most hilarious thing in the world. Taking an Uber across the street.
I've seen where you live, and I've seen where you work. Like that's. I live closer to my job, but that's still pretty close.
Actually, there are people that like you, Lee, you know where Wacky Wings is.
Yes.
And you know where the Quality Inn is, as well as the Holiday Inn. Yes. People pay $10 to get food delivered.
We had somebody the other
day.
2-minute
walk.
Do you know when we had all like that freezing rain?
Yeah.
So we had somebody get delivery, and they complained that the skip driver was taking too long. They're like, "Well, I'm just gonna come walk down and pick it up." Excuse me? She was on the same block.
That's just too dumb.
And I'm like, okay, so you got a driver to drive on the shittiest day, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna come walk." Guaranteed, she didn't tip either initially, because that's why she didn't give a fuck. And there's like free delivery if you spend much, so it's still the same if you go pick it up. So that's probably why she's like, I'm just gonna pick it up.
There's some weird shit where Skip it like gives you free delivery, but like they other things cost more or something. Like I don't know. The one guy at the one restaurant was saying that he somebody ordered like a gravy or something, and after all the skipping charges, it was like $3 for a gravy that would have been like a buck or some weird shit.
Yeah, I mean that's what they do around Toronto too. Like all the services, they basically you're looking at almost all the menu items are double the price, but then it's like, oh, free delivery, but you just what normally just costs you $20 worth, you just got $40 worth.
It doesn't make any sense. Like again, like what company here, it's like $10 in town. It just went up from 8 because the gas has gone batshit crazy.
I mean, that the $10 seems. I mean, if it's I wouldn't do it if I was close by, but if that seems pretty reasonable if you're like across town or something.
Oh yeah.
So Lee says sometimes he goes across to work with a zip line.
How do you get back?
Did they make a wire that's that heavy gauge?
Do you have trees that are strong
sakes,
enough?
Redbeard. Jesus. All right. So let's
Those are
go
like
back.
big, strong oaks.
Let's go back to Redbeard here and say, what's your final thoughts on this thing?
It seems very, very like a lot of other kind of European Pilsnery beers I've had. I don't mind it. It's not something that would be regular for me, style-wise. But for the style, it's all right. Bready, biscuity kind of. Just malt. Little kind of like European hoppiness, if that makes sense. It's all right. I'm going to give it an 8 for the style and 6.75 for overall enjoyment.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
All righty. Look at Redbeard. So let's go over to Gorg.
Well, since I don't have Ashley Sexton to crib off tonight, I'll crib off Carrie and basically say, basically what it tastes like. It's a European lager, bready, biscuity, coppery, blah, blah, blah. It's good. It's fine. First couple of sips, I really didn't like it. I almost got more of a corn syrupy taste. And I don't know if my tongue adapted or I don't know. It's just one of those weird beers that actually gets better as it warms up a bit, but it's perfectly fine. Like I wish I had more exciting things to say about it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's German. So it's kind of like, German. So no one can hate the Germans, right?
Nope. At least not in the last 80 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Doug's?
Not see that come.
All right. So what are you giving it for rating, Greg?
You know what? As a European lager, I'm going to go 8 and then let's go 7.7583.
Jesus fucking Christ, you people with the
All right,
ass.
I'm going to rate you down at 7.75. I'm topping it there. So it's 8 and 7.75, right?
I was actually going to go 8 and a 7, but whatever you want to do. I'm good with
Okay,
it.
7 or 7.75, Greg?
No, 7.
7. Okay. You know what? When I'm writing down these ratings, I actually wrote Lee down as Lee. So let's
Wow.
thank you, Greg.
I mean, they do look the exact same, to be fair.
You're not wrong.
Oh, we got a Paul and that's
Holy
sensational in the chat.
That sensational says Lee.
Lee.
And of course, cheers, Paul. We'll get to you in a second here.
Hey guys.
Hi.
So I'm not really gonna steer far from like what everybody else said. There's nothing different about this beer. There's nothing out there about this beer, which is probably a good thing because it just makes it like your standard Pilsner. Legendary Pilsner. Anyways, it does taste, I don't know, I'm just getting a sweeter taste than I normally do. But it's not bad, but it's not like amazing. Like there's nothing special about it where I would kind of want to go seeking this. If it was there somewhere, I'd totally grab one and drink one, but if it went like me choosing to go buy one, I probably wouldn't. Style wise, I'm gonna agree with the group, and I'm gonna go 8 on this one. Personal preference, I'm gonna go 6.
6. All right. Thank you, Lady of the Lee.
Lady of the Lee.
All righty. And also, that sensation says, why are you a professional sandwich maker?
Because I'm a woman.
You're a female. Happy International Women's Day.
Because Lady Lee knows her place.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! All right.
That's what
Let's
the joke
get
was.
Speaking
Exactly
of
what I
knowing
was
my
going with it.
knowing my place, I know it's my place to change the subject when there's somebody says shit like that.
Oh,
All right.
we made Nick bashful.
See me blush. All right, so Wernesgrüner had the aroma was kind of a lightly grassy sweet, subtle bits of sulfur and copper coin. The taste, again, grassy sweet taste, hint of caramel, a bit bready, a little coiny, and overall has a pleasant taste. And it does have this dirty, earthy finish, which is what put me off the years ago when I first had it. I thought it was like unremarkable and a bit dirty in the finish. It just seemed like, what water did they use? It's almost like you used dirty water for it. But no, today maybe my palate's a bit more refined. It seems like I had a can of this last week when we were announced that we were going to do a Wernesgrüner.
Wow.
And I'm actually kind of surprised because like it's not quite as dirty as I recalled, and it's bugging me less because I feel like this is actually growing on me. Like, it's not the best Pilsner I've ever had, but it's actually kind of solid. I would drink this again, and actually, I might even consider buying it again. Like, well, obviously, I would actually might even buy this again because right now I'm not even sure if I can get Pilsner Raquel anymore here. It's kind of shitty, but I really got nothing to complain about. So for the style, I'm agreeing with everybody. 8, and overall enjoyment is a 7. Like, I like this, which is not what I was expecting to say. Aw, thank you. Alrighty, so while I do the tabulations, it'll be easy considering we gave it all 8 for style.
I wonder what the style is going to be.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Redbeard had to ruin it with the overall.
You know what? Oh, sorry. Is this cheap in Canada at least?
I don't even remember.
I guess we didn't read. Also, Lee said, "Thanks, guys. He gained 40 pounds while watching this. Going to call a Zuber." And Paul loves the Germans because they always do the right
I hope
thing.
they have a tractor.
Oh, I agree.
I did not see that coming.
That went off the rails real quick. Anyway, howdy, Paul.
And hi, Jay.
Is this cheap in Canada at least? I forget how much is this beer in Ontario? It's like 3 something, isn't it?
It was 3 something, I think. I can't recall. Let me see here. Let me fucking bring up the Lickbo thing. And
wait, do you guys have your LCBO prices? Is that before or after tax?
A tax included.
Yeah, okay. This is actually the $2.45. So yeah.
Yeah.
Not $3.
$2.45 there.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see it, but yeah.
Jesus. It's $3.19 here, so it's almost $1 more in New Brunswick. But at the same time, like for a 500 ml can of lager, that's like
if I was
if
a
it's
college
one you
student,
want to try, yeah.
It's a cheap beer.
Yeah, well, if you're a college kid and just want to get tanked, you get Fax 10%.
What did I use? A PBR. That's what I used to drink.
PBR.
Daniel says, question is, how does it compare to Beck's or for that matter, Heineken? I'd say it does. It's like they're.
I think I like Heineken more than
Yeah,
this.
I'd say Heineken's. I can't recall last time I had Beck's, but Heineken I'd say is probably a little bit more of a clean kind of taste. Doesn't have that little dirty thing.
I haven't had Beck's in years,
but
Heineken I think is a little better.
And depending on where you are, Daniel, yeah, here in Ontario we pay $2.45, and Nick was like 3 something, which totally makes sense because it obviously costs more to ship things more inland than to the coastal areas. Then
what? No, it's more.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It's funny.
It makes no sense because it should be cheaper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just beer taxes and runs.
Yeah,
they fuck us over more than they do in Ontario. So
it's like North Bay having stupid high gas prices compared to outlying towns. Not even counting the reserve, but like outlying towns that the trucks have to drive further to get to these towns, yet their gas prices are cheaper.
That's always the case. Even around Toronto, you go into the boonies, the gas prices are cheaper.
Boonies like Mississauga.
No, a little further boonies than that.
We got a few more comments.
Dairy. Oh.
So I figured let him have it.
Great German lagers. He's looking at a I don't even want to know what Weihenstephaner.
Oh, Weihenstephaner.
There we go.
I never had
And-
Weihenstephaner lager. All I've ever had from them is the Hefeweizen.
I'm gonna say I didn't even know they were a lager, but maybe they have one. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite just go-to wheat beers. Or
That's a solid one. Yeah, that's a solid wheat beer.
I know Nick is pretty anal about whether it's a hef or a wheat, but
well, they're two different styles, and I'm pretty sure Dan Harper would agree that a wheat beer is not a fucking Hefeweizen.
yeah, but our resident beer expert, Mr. Ashley Sexton, disagrees with you, so I don't know.
He's wrong.
Oh, that's fired. Oh, if that man didn't have a little tingle in his throat,
He
he'd
didn't
be
have a cold
here
tonight.
right now.
I'd probably get catfished.
I'm not sure what beer in a bozo means by red beer in my car. Wahoo.
What?
Yeah, I'm not sure. What do you mean by
Bearded
that?
Mike. Maybe he's listening to us while he's in the car.
This is possible. That's kind of interesting.
You got to think
Or
outside
maybe
the
you're
box there,
actually in
Red
his
Beard.
car, you don't know it.
Wayne Stein, whatever the hell that thing was, way more expensive than Wernesgrüner. Given that I can get cheap Wernesgrüner at Aldi. What the hell's Aldi? I'm assuming just some.
You missed a comment.
Isn't Aldi related to Trader Joe's? I know Aldi's like a German kind of store, isn't it?
So
But
this is distributed by Aldi in the U.S. and so it's gettable cheap, but also old. Normally stored warm in a warehouse.
Sure.
And then sounds like Nick doesn't want a sandwich.
what's this? So many great craft pills here in Maritimes now. I wouldn't not even bother. You know what? The level of good craft pilsners is going up in Maritimes in the last few years. I mean, it used to be that whatever that stuff that would call itself a pilsner was just whatever shit, basically, and now it's really kind of like it really stands. A lot of the newer stuff really stacks up well with the Europeans. Anyway, so Beer and Boza says they're hef makers, Weihenstephaner. Yeah, I've never even seen Weihenstephaner's lager. I've only ever seen their. I've had a couple from them, and I think there's the Weihenstephaner Hefeweizen, and I think I had one. Who makes the Vitus? Or am I thinking that one a different brewery? Anyway, so Weihenstephaner originals are standard lager, and German pills and the German lager, regardless of what the BJCP bullshit says these days.
Arnold.
Not Hefe Weeders. James being a nerd. We're all nerds.
We're all
here.
nerds.
We
here.
appreciate nerds.
You're amongst company relatives here. We're all nerds. All right, so let's pan back out to moi for a second, and I will share the ratings of my badly drawn MS Paint bastardization.
Who would have guessed style was 8?
Yeah, really.
Shocking.
That's a cool advertisement for the beer.
I feel like as that warmed up, it almost kind of starts to take on like a little bit of like a hop extract kind of taste. Like maybe Greg gets what I'm talking about.
I find it does taste different
Yeah,
because like I feel
they hit more cardboardy.
I am having like I don't know. I think I might be enjoying it more.
I mean, I think that actually does get
I
better.
thought that was solid. Like last week, I just had one of these last week, and I thought I had a hard time toughing through it because it just had that dirty hop taste. But this time, it was so much better. Like I couldn't understand why, and maybe it's because I actually gave it a real chance this week.
Maybe you want to be friends with it.
I would actually drink this again. Like maybe I'll go buy more of these. What?
Did you hoop the other one?
No, I didn't hoop the other one.
It's hard to taste stuff.
It is.
It's hard to taste things when you're hooping them out your butt.
Is there any other way to hoop things? Is there such thing as a lady hoop?
Hoop the poop or hoop the
I feel Lady Lee should know this, or at least have the
like,
option. Friend.
what do you call it? Hoop it, but you're putting it up your vagina.
I just said it's a
douche.
lady hoop.
What?
A douche?
Douche.
There you go. Douche it.
All right, we're waiting here for the magic questions. And
Ladies have front hoops.
Wouldn't it be the same though? Okay, because our assholes, we both have assholes. It's just
We're all
it actually
assholes
like
here.
enters the asshole, and there's no actual end to an asshole. Well, it's
I mean,
right
it does.
there.
It comes out your mouth.
Versus like a vagina is like stopped. Like you can't enter anything in there. Like if
Well,
I
have a
put something
pocket.
in there, it would literally just be like, "Hey, we're all just gonna leak out." So it'd be very.
No,
pointless.
no, your baby would drink it.
No, you gotta use that freaking stupid Gwyneth Paltrow vagina rock more often.
Oh
So you
my
can
God.
so you can clench it and keep things in there forever.
you
Who
can
was it that
expand
made? Was it Gwyneth
Yeah.
Paltrow that made that candle that smelled like her vagina?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, she had a pop-up shop near my work. I never went into it, but I probably should have.
We're going to continue to talk about Gwyneth
There's
Paltrow's vagina
so
until
much
somebody asks the magic question.
misinformation that she puts out on her fucking products. It's unbelievable. I love when
She
she's just
seems
like,
totally normal and well-adjusted.
I'm gonna put the lightest amount of UV protection on my face, and that's gonna save me from. No, it's not. No, it's you're supposed to layer that shit. If you're actually worried about the sun, you're supposed to layer it, unless it's fucking useless. Just a common sense thing.
SPF 0.72 is fine. That's all you need.
I don't wear sunscreen, so I'm probably gonna die of a terrible skin cancer.
And she will too, because she's not fucking wearing it.
All right, me and Gwyneth Paltrow are in the
oh.
same boat.
Lee has asked the magic question. What is next week's beer?
Oh, I'm surprised his fat fingers could type it.
Next week, we
Oh
are
God, I'm gonna
doing
die.
a reanalysis of the
Nick, you are doing such
Oh.
a terrible.
essential Irish beer for St. Patrick's Day.
Nick, that's supposed to go right down the middle.
I like my new Guinness glass too. It's all like Guinness logo and shamrocks.
Next week is St. Patty's Day, right?
Next
Wednesday?
week is the 16th, I think. We're
That is
doing
St. Patty's Day.
that's
isn't it?
that's the closest Wednesday to St. Patrick's Day this year. And as a tradition, we always do an Irish beer on St. Patrick's Day. And since we're doing these reanalyses now, we're able to go back and do one of the very earliest beers that we did in beer analysis back when it was still in Lee's channel. Gonna do a reimagining of Guinness Draft Stout from
Nick,
Ireland.
are we allowed to bring Irish whiskey and do an Irish car bomb?
You can.
You
after
can.
we review.
We got a couple beer nibbles were asked. This stuff we just had. Yes, it's at the Algonquin LCBO. Daniel quote: "As I continue to drink this alcoholic beverage, I think I like it more. Can't imagine how this happens. I should open another." Mel Lee is going to work. Have a good night at work, my
Have a good night,
friends.
Mr.
You
Lee.
could have reviewed it, Lee. You would have had time, and they could have
Yeah.
said no.
And then you would have gone to work drunk.
And Dan is informed
You would have had to have gotten a beer first.
erotic stories from the 90s that a whole wine bottle fits inside a vagina.
I mean, that's accurate.
Babies do come out of them.
Yeah.
But
But I feel like
No.
the lobster trap that it doesn't always work both
First
ways.
of all, from a woman, no. We're all
Yeah.
different sized. There are some women, yes, who can. Not all women can. You're more
don't
likely to
forget
fit
some
something up
women
your
need to be
asshole
cut.
than you are your vagina. I have a very short vagina, so
Wow.
I'm very limited in the things that I can fit in my vagina. But there are
Aw.
other girls that can fit massive things in their vagina, and that's just how it is.
Well,
Vaginas are versatile.
luckily for you, I'm limited in what I can fit into your vagina too, so we can get along just well. That's fine.
I kind of agree with the next comment. I'm not a fan of nitro beers generally, so nitro dose rubbish is not a terrible thing to call that.
I enjoy nitro beers. Admittedly, they probably are not the most flavorful beers generally, but you know what? They're nice to drink.
I just
Not
don't
wrong,
like
like
the
nitroing a beer
flatness.
kind of removes a lot of that, like takes the edge off of the taste. But fuck, I love the feel, the mouth.
Daniel, like next week, roughly
Wednesday, 8:30.
Wednesday
8:30 Eastern. You're invited, Dan, if you want to come.
Oh, there we go. Dan, is
And,
that Dan's anal debut?
Mel Lee reiterates for I believe at least the third or fourth time. What part about me not being able to get the beer did you not
It's not
get?
that part. It's just that you keep arguing that you have to go to work every time we have a beer review. When you can get the beer, you're like, I got to go to work. I just proved to you that we finished the episode. You're still in the chat, and you could have done the review and then gone to work.
Typical Lee thinks things last longer than they do.
Radar asking how there's only 4
Typical
viewers
Manly.
because that's how these things generally go.
Yeah, that's how popular this stuff is.
And
Popular.
Daniel Harper, just obviously the link must be so. I'm not sure how that'll get done, but
Depending upon how many we have, it'll probably be on my Discord. I can send you my Discord link, and if you ever want to talk to us, then we're online. Then sure.
He doesn't. He really doesn't.
I think
no,
I'm friends
he
with you on
doesn't
Facebook,
drink.
so
Doesn't drink and go to work. You know what? If you had to work at like midnight or something, I'd say a couple hours. But that if you actually, I'm with you on that one.
I mean,
I wouldn't want
nowadays
to have
you're
a beer and
wearing,
then go right to work.
nowadays
Well,
you're wearing a
Dan can't do
mask so no one can smell your breath. So.
It would be one
It
beer.
wouldn't be the stocking shelf. I wouldn't mind stocking shelves with a couple of, 1 or 2 maybe, but being drunk probably would kind of suck. But I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Lee
Yeah,
has
you
drank
know,
something on
fucking-
BA 101 and gone to work after.
You know he's fucking
As
knocking
long as it's
back
not an
that
Imperial Stout.
all night.
As long as it's not an Imperial Stout, you're going to work after drinking. Like that time, Redbeard almost hit a couple of teenagers.
You know
What do you mean almost? I heard they're buried all over North Bay.
Poor you.
I got a guy really good at undercarriage cleaning. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Daniel Harper says, I would not want to stock shelves with a couple of beers in me. I wouldn't want to do anything constructive, really.
Yeah, it's almost like I read that comment like 30 seconds ago.
I can feel it in my muscles.
I think we've all gone to work drunk once upon a time. Well,
God.
most. I shouldn't say all, most.
Well, I mean,
I've woken up still kind of buzzed.
I was gonna say, I've never
drinking so much.
I've never actually drank in the morning, but I have definitely drank so much the night before, especially when the Raptors won that basketball sports.
All that
game
past
thing.
Sports
basketball sports
game
tournament thing.
I got so annihilated, and somehow I made it into
You
work
did.
that day, and I was drunk for half that day.
I remember that because I was like, me and I think even Redbeard was here. And
I was
you were
there,
just
yeah.
losing your fucking mind. You don't even watch basketball.
Go sports!
Like, you're going,
Ah!
yay, sports team. And you were
Look at
just using it as an.
I get excited when Toronto wins something. They don't win very often. So.
All right, since we've lost almost all viewers here, I want to thank everybody for watching, especially Daniel Harper. Cheers, buddy, and cheers, Radar, Lee, Beard, a Bozo. Who else do we have in the chat
That's
tonight?
sensational.
That's sensational. You're sensational for watching us. And I think that was Paul. It's nice to see Paul again. We didn't even get to his comments
Hi,
here.
Paul.
Where he's
No, we
talking
didn't.
about the Germans being the good peoples now, yeah?
We totally read those comments.
Yeah, we did. And of course, Redbeard needs to rub one out. So it's time to go offline. So thank you, Lady Lee, Greg, and Redbeard for coming on, and we will chat with you folks next week.
I've been rubbing one out the
we
whole
do the
time.
Guinness. We go to St. James Gate and drink some
Yeah.
Guinness. Cheers.
Chris
Guinness.
Peters killed those women?